K-Rino Radio. K-Rino Radio. Let's tell them about it. You're listening to K-Rino Radio on 90.1. Who is he? What is he? What does he do? Where is he from? H-Town, where the independent grind was invented. Understand, I'm the property owner, you just a tenant. KPFT is the station and location for the really special guests. Good knowledge and information for the coldest on the air. We making a strong case. If you scared of the truth, then you in the wrong place. Every Friday, 11 o'clock p.m. Central. We cooking the game, serving it up, feeding your mental. You can even call in, dial 713, backdoor with 526 KPFT. We ain't playing with them, we gon' tell it like it is, partner. Out of town, KPFT.org, yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now.
Peace and love one time for your mind. It's your big brother K-Rino. And as is the case every Friday night, y'all are tuned in to K-Rino Radio right here on KPFT. If you listening, make sure you contact somebody, a friend, a family member, whoever, and tell them to tune in to 90.1 FM. Or if they want to check us out online, they can go to kpft.org and click listen live and check us out. Once again, man, I'm joined by my family, the OG South Park Coalition vet Murder One, flanking me to my right, and No Regret Media is in the building. Colonel Keystone and Young Pro holding it down on the camera work as usual. But check this out, man. Man, y'all know at any minute, man, we may have anybody in here. Tonight, we got a super legend to the 15th power in the building, man. West Coast legend, one of the greatest rappers and lyricists of all time to ever pick the microphone up, man. This man should be in everybody's top 5, dead or alive, when you talking about lyricism, man. He has worked with everybody from Dr. Dre to Lil Juju on the corner, man. He is an iconic. I can't lay it out the way I want to lay it out, man. So I just take the time to introduce my brother, my homie, the one and only Ras Kass is in the building.
What's up, K-Rino, man? Takes one to know one, man. So all those accolades he gave me, y'all, just put them right back on him, man.
Bro,
you know,
look,
spitters,
man.
Spitters, no spitters.
Man, indeed, and you are indeed a true spitter, man. Flame spitter, dragon status, man.
Thank you, sir.
And the beauty of it is that the way to really tell when somebody is the truth is factoring in how long they've been doing it.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of flash in the pan cats that have come through that can give you that one album. They can give you that one dope song that you might remember forever. But to be able to year after year,
consistency,
decade after decade, continue to be just fire like that, this man exemplifies that characteristic to the highest degree, and we honored to have you on the show tonight.
Man, it's blessings. I'm happy to be here, man.
Man, we gonna get right into it, man. I like to start people off and just in the beginning with the origins of Ras Kass, and just what was your early introductions into music at first, but moving into hip hop in particular? How'd you fall in love with this hip hop thing right here?
That's a good question. So I'm an accidental rapper, and I'll explain what that means. My mom is from Louisiana. My daddy from Arkansas. My mom is, like a liberal, bleeding heart, but our family's Catholic.
Right.
So then my mom switched. I went to Catholic school up until 8th grade, 7th grade, middle of 7th grade. I say all that to say this. My mom listened to weird music. Like, she was singing opera, and my pops was a police officer. He ain't listening to nothing. So I didn't listen to music. So in the car, if my sisters, I had older sisters, like, every once in a while you might hear, like, Whitney Houston or, something like that. But it wasn't really no music. So I didn't grow up with music.
Right.
I didn't listen to music. My pops didn't have, like, a record stash. So I didn't listen to music, and I'm the only boy, so I didn't deal with music. But then, being any boy growing up, I grew up in Watts, you run around in the streets, and I'm just busy being a boy. As my grandma would say, I was mannish. I'm out in the streets running around, having fun with my friends, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 13-ish, I started paying attention to the music that was being played. And I think one of the first things that ever really hit me, like rap existed all that time,
right?
But I didn't pay attention. I just didn't hear it, and it wasn't around me. And so when I was about 12, like 13-ish maybe is when it might have been maybe a Karis One song or a Big Daddy. I don't know what it was, but something sparked like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
What is this that I've been kind of hearing? You know how you hear something, but it's in the peripheral?
Right.
You never paid attention? Because I had heard the EPMD and the Run DMC and the LL, but then it clicked in. And I was like, man, what is this?
Right.
Like, and this is crazy. I'm not going to lie. You know what I think it was? I think it was NWA After Police. Yeah. I think that's the first record for some reason that resonated when I heard it.
That'll do it. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But Too Short was out. So many people had put it down.
So this is leaning towards late 80s.
Late 80s.
Right.
Yeah, late 80s. And I clicked and I fell in love as a fan, like not even thinking about rap.
Right.
So for me, like, there wasn't no Ras Kass. I was just Baby John and Watts. I was just another little kid in the neighborhood. But there was a dude named Rap Capone. He was from the actual neighborhood. He gangbanged. And, and he was probably about, I would say he's like 17. Back then when you like 12, 13. He was just a cool dude in the hood, and he always had the radio playing stuff. He had the waves, and he was kind of,
that guy.
The girls liked Dante. That was his name. And I wanted to be Dante.
Right.
I was like, little Baby John wanted to be like Dante because he had the girls and he had the radio and he was playing. He was super cool, and it was from there, like paying attention to the music and seeing the personality type, I guess kind of juxtaposing it against what my pops was, because he was super a suspect is this, and he was a rigid dude. He was a Marine, then he was LAPD, then he met, what I'm saying, I'm his only son, and we just, I'm rambunctious, I'm out in the streets in Watts. He didn't even want us to be in Watts. He's like, I want him to go to public, he was just that dude.
Right.
And I ain't got nothing against it. He had a different view than my mother, and thank God both of their views together put me in an opportunity to have the growing up situation I had, where I made a choice, and that's kind of why I am what I am. I'm kind of like a street smart, lyrical, I'm kind of dumb hood, and I'm kind of smart.
Right.
I'm a little bit of both, but I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I literally am both of those people.
Alrighty, man. That's beautiful, man. Ras Kass is here, and that's what we want to get into. We want to get into that essence of how you got going. So when you heard the Too Shorts, the NWAs, the Big Daddy Kanes, what was that moment where you sat down and said, I'm gonna try to write me something out?
It goes right back to being in the neighborhood. So where we grew up in Watts is 99th and McKinley. The dude that was signed to G Unit, Spider Loke. So Spider Loke literally lived down the street. He's not the only Spider Loke. How gang stuff goes. So he's Tiny Spider, I think, or Baby Spider. So there's a Spider, little Spider, Baby. He Baby Spider. That's all his brothers, Martell and all them. So we all, like, whatever, different age factors. But on 99th, basically, I'm not trying to gangbang. I'm just trying to give people an understanding, because I don't bang. I never did. But so the neighborhoods and the gangs in our neighborhood is basically 9-7 East Coast Crip, Front Street Watts, and Grape Street Watts. All the older dudes made a clique that was not gang. They was like some people, in any neighborhood, there's a comedian, there's a basketball player, there's, whatever. There's a hustler, there's a dude to get the chicks,
right?
Whatever,
right?
Dope dealer, whatever. Not everybody banging, but they made a clique. The older dudes, the older kids made a clique called 99 East Side Hustlers.
Right.
So I want, back, I'm puberty. I'm 13. I'm like, I'm gonna make a rap for the clique.
Right.
Not that I'm really invited in the clique. I ain't nobody. I'm 13. They, they the ones, doing girls and doing it, whatever, driving.
Right.
Could stay out when the lights, when the street lights come on. I couldn't even do that.
Moves.
Yeah, I wasn't even a factor. But I wrote a rap, and this is what I used to remember the rap. But I wrote this rap, and I went back because I grew up in Watts, but I always lived in Carson. And so my parents lived in Carson. I went to school. My grandma lived in Watts, and so I went to school in Watts because she would, keep us when my parents went to work. Long story short, I wrote the rap, came back the next day, said the rap, and they shut me down like, that's whack. And I remember it was whack. I wrote the wackest rap ever. I'll tell you the facts. I'm going to let you know about the 9 rap. Son, it was whack.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then I gave up for years. For like 2 years, I was like, bro, I'm garbage.
Yeah.
So, because like I said, like I was asking, bro, on my mama, I couldn't snap my fingers. My sister Tamiko, and for my sisters Tamiko and for Renee, had to teach me how to snap my fingers on beat when I was like 9. I'm not a naturally rhythmic dude.
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird. not my bag.
Yeah.
Now, so on some hood stuff, you grow up and kids is walking on their hands and we playing touch football. So I was athletic, but I wasn't dance, groove, movement stuff.
Yeah.
And so the music became just me being a fan of the music, but definitely not trying to rap. I'm like, I was garbage. I might as well be a fan and not do the rap thing.
So you shut it down for 2 years, and what made you just come back, just matured a little bit and felt like, okay?
Yeah, you know what? I was out being the kid. I was always a visual artist. I could draw, and then I figured out that I could be popular. Like. We called it housing, like not quite routine dancing, but like breaking and, like kind of like when Tribe Called Quest came out around that era.
Right.
Like we called it housing, not house dancing. Like we wasn't voguing, but
I know exactly
like that Living Color era type stuff, So I was dancing, I was pretty good at it, and within there, sometime in that period, I got popular in LA because we had cliques of like the housers and the tag bangers ended up becoming the same cliques.
Yeah,
and most of those people came from neighborhoods. Most anywhere. You from Third Ward. You from wherever. Like you grew up. You may not be the active gang member of that neighborhood, but everybody grows up somewhere. So you are associated to your neighborhood. So all of us started meeting each other through the music. They had bopper clubs in LA back then. And so they had like 15 to like 18-year-old clubs back then, which is crazy. In retrospect, that was actually something for us to do. And all of us started meeting and hanging and clicking. And that's kind of like, that was the onset. And somewhere in between there, my brain clicked and I decided I wanted to rap again.
Give it another shot.
Yeah. I actually, I know why. And I got to give credit where it's due. Basically, I should have been in the 5th grade because I started school early and I got skipped. But I was in the 7th. I told you I was smart. I'm smart and stupid.
I was opposite. I started school late. Yeah.
But yeah, I was in 7th grade, and my homeboy Bird, we used to. He had one of those. He had the turntable mixers with the little 6-second sampler on them. They used to have these. I remember them, and you press the button, you could sample it, and you could like, do the little EP, shot the cherry, like you could do the little stutter on it.
Right.
So he had one of them, and I had a Technique 1200.
Okay.
And we put it in my garage, and we used to battle and make albums.
Yeah.
So we like disappeared for an hour. We started collecting all records. He had some records. I raided my grandfather's. My grandpa's dad had died. I went and raided his records. I started just that's kind of how I got into music and discovered music through rap.
Right.
And then started like going record buying, at little dollar things and like discover jazz, rock and roll. I didn't know nothing about nothing, bro.
Yeah.
All I knew was like I knew Michael Jackson, Prince.
Yeah.
It.
Right.
Boy George, everybody knew
whoever they played on MTV.
Yeah, for real, man. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
And then the dancing got me into all the rap.
It introduced you to
but I didn't know there were songs before that they sampled from. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
And long story short, Bird's sister was dating this DJ from our radio station at the time, K-Day, like the big, like they broke hip hop in L.A. K-Day, and his name was DJ Battlecat.
Oh yeah,
and
no question.
We the little dudes. He's like a star because he's on the radio, And we bothered him one time, like, which one of our tapes is better? You know, he's like, yeah, whatever, little stupid kids, y'all funny, you know, whatever. And he listened to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, he basically said, Bird, you picked the right samples, and Raz, because it wasn't written, we just freestyling, kind of diss each other and make these dumb little tapes. And he was like, you could rap. Like, you dope.
Right.
You just freestyling that? And I was like, yeah, I just, you know, whatever. He's like, whatever. And he took us under his wing, man. Like, and that was the beginning of my journey, really. It's like Cat. Yeah. You know, my mama used to drop us off over at Cat House because I live in Carson. And me and Bird lived in Carson, and Cat lived, like, where Nipsey from, so 6-0 neighborhood, Crenshaw.
Right.
So that, you know, like, that's how, we live on 190th Street all the way to 60th Street. So my mama would drop us off. We'd have to catch a bus back.
Right.
But yeah, and he would work with us. He gave Bird a SP. Basically, did my first demo, and it just went from there, man. That's my journey, man. And like, it's crazy. Like, shout out to Keezy, man.
And it's crazy because your story is really different from a lot of people's story, in particular people that I have interviewed, because everybody's story is kind of the same. It's like, yeah, I got into it, and then I started writing. This was a unique version, a unique journey that you took, starting, stopping, not even being familiar with the music at all.
For real, man.
So that points to just feeling like it was meant for you to be doing what you.
It was written, man. You know, honestly, it was really written. I feel blessed. Never would have seen this coming out the blue.
Yeah.
It's not what I planned on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was a visual artist. I thought I'd be doing the animated movie. I had the visions of doing, you know, when you see Black Panther and having those animated movies and writing comic books and all that. That was my vision.
Right.
And then the music, just being a kid in the streets, the music was the soundtrack to my true lifestyle and what I was around, and it opened a different door for me, and that's, you know, I'm blessed. And I didn't know I had an acumen for this rhyming, and it took my older homies investing in me and saying, look, come in, you know, Battle Cat opened that door, and more people came in and broke the door down for me. And my homeboy Wano, who produced all the Coolio stuff, my homeboy's Domino Theory, like, and these are people that was on and getting on and having it. I didn't have no money. I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? They didn't throw me no, you know, dummy contracts. Like, really believed in me, man.
Yeah.
I can always say, man, like, I've been blessed through this journey. Like, I grew up with real G's that really gave a kid some direction and kept me out of trouble, and told me, like, look, you got a talent and you don't need to be doing whoop-de-wham, because I wasn't going to listen to my pops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to hang out with the homies. And they like, you don't even need to hang with the homies. You stay in the studio.
Yeah.
Get this work done. I'm like, and he gave me a journey and a life. I've been traveled the world with a word.
That's the role. That's supposed to be OG's role,
right?
Period. You know, even in these streets, it's always been that way in certain situations where the OGs see a youngster, like you say, he play basketball,
whatever it is,
and say, "You not gonna do what we out here doing.
Right?
We gonna take you because we see something in you that at that time you probably didn't even see in yourself."
Yep.
So that man Ras Kass is in the building, man, and we getting some history on one of the greatest to ever do it right now. Let me talk about the direction you took in terms of what type of rapper you wanted to be, because we all know it's a bunch of directions you can go.
Sir.
You can say, I can be this party rapper, I can be this gangster rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Why lyricism? Why this wordplay and lyricism? How'd that come about?
I mean, for me, this is my therapy.
Right.
So a lot of what I'm doing is just venting. I didn't even rap. I used to just write in complete sentences, period, semicolon. I told you I was smart.
Yeah.
So I write in complete sentences, and then I just had to make the last word rhyme.
No question.
I was just saying, I woke up today, didn't like Whoop-de-Wham. I wanted to bomb on so-and-so, but what's her name looked good.
Yeah.
I was reading this in this book about worms. Some social commentary, blah, blah, blah. They shot this black kid. I'm just venting, bro.
Right.
I'm just shutting. So for me, it was such a natural thing that, and of course I'm inspired. You know, when you hearing Nas and you hearing Pac and you hearing Face, never seen a man cry till I seen a man die. You know, you hearing KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Tribe Called Quest. Like, it's just bars. Right. Everybody's different, but people are expressing themselves, and for me, I was just expressing myself. And KRS-One did You Must Learn. Yeah. And then he was like, I was already stepping into getting knowledge of self. I had a friend of mine, he stepped into the Nation of Islam, I didn't. Right. He always said I had one boot on and one Nike. He's like, you got one boot on and one Jordan. I was like, well, because I'm going to still drink and I want to go touch on these girls. Hey, bro, I don't know.
Just kept it real.
I'm like, I don't, if I'm going to put on the bow tie, man, I'm going to be 100. And right now, I really like Hennessy. So I'm going to buy the books and do it my way. He's like, you doing Islam? But yeah, I guess so. So
Islam,
not Islam, Islam, yeah. So I went through. KRS-One sparked something for me, and the information that I was getting, I had me personally. It was things that, as much as I loved every other rapper I'd ever heard, I felt like we go to school and then they teach you the same lies they've been teaching you absolutely since they wouldn't teach you how to read. So now they taught you how to read but gave you stupid stuff to read. Right. So you still talking about Christopher Columbus and blah, 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 and that you was a slave. And like bro. And so, at least KRS-One and, and these certain people, they're opening doors of information. But I felt like we hear all these dates, 1492, blah, 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 blah. For me, I was like, for myself, it was selfish. I needed to know how. There's two schools of thought about history. There's the accidental school of history, that things just happen randomly. Right. And then there's another thought of the intentional school, the accidental and causal school of history, that the butterfly effect, that everything you do has an effect. Right. So if 1492 this happens, then that's why that other thing indirectly it affected why things turned out in 1495. Right. And then that happened. Then so everything's affecting everything else. And so I'm hearing cause and effect. So I which is why I wrote Nature the Threat. My whole thing was, I've heard all these dates, and then they tell you one thing happened in Bethlehem and da-da-da-da-da. Where are these places, first of all? How do they relate to each other? What happened first? Let's put it in a chronological order and figure out where does racism come from? Right. When did it happen? So let's figure out, when did we get white people? When did we get racist? Right. Or so-called racist? Let's start figuring out these dates and when do we get called Negroes? We weren't called Negroes in Africa. When, you know what I'm saying? What's the difference between a Dominican and a Puerto Rican and an African or a black person? Right. And starting to figure all those things. Why is a Caucasian called a Caucasian? There's a Caucasus Mountains. Come on, man. Why, so starting to do the math of common sense, which ain't very common. Right.
Come on now. and look, and see, that leads me up, because I was definitely going there. When you did Nature of the Threat,
I probably ruined my career.
Well, and
I'm not crying about it.
Well, check this out. I'll say this. It probably ruined any mainstream commercial success that you may have enjoyed, but on the flip side, it probably extended your real career.
Facts.
Because the real gonna gravitate to that. And you laid out a song that was so chock full of knowledge and information that song is gonna push you into the future of the future.
Yeah, man.
And for those who are not familiar, just go and pull up Ras Kass, Nature of the Threat.
Yes, sir.
Now, Nature of the Threat, you dropped this, was it 96? When did that come
96.
out? Okay, so that song is 22 years old.
Yes,
and
sir.
The knowledge that you was dropping on that song would still blow the average mind.
You know what's crazy?
Today.
Somebody put it up on YouTube maybe about, let's say, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, whatever, probably, whatever. Let's say 300,000 views. But it's crazy because every blue moon I get nosy. Well, about a year ago I was nosy because I was just like, hey, I should be getting the money off of it or whatever. Yeah. But I started looking at the comments, but they were recent. Yeah. So people were like,
Nah.
like that record has a life of its own that whether they hate it or love it, 15-year-old kids from around the world,
Listen.
18, people hit me up and be like, dude, I never heard of you. I'm not going to lie, until last month. I just heard this Nature of the Threat song.
Let me tell you, bro.
This is brand new, and why is this not all over the place?
Exactly. Because that's your signature song. And you just was nonstop, just information, just like you said. I want to know why this happened. I want to know. You were just rambling off so much history and that things that people that you don't get in the school curriculum. So, like you said, that knowledge is so timeless. It's actually futuristic. Right. So you got 10, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds that are just coming into that. They have the advantage that we didn't have. All we had going to school was to just take whatever was in that textbook and whatever that teacher said. Now you have the internet where they can just...
Or you had to do independent research, which is what, when we stepping into the nation, I started taking, college courses, community college, but it don't matter. They're still the same books.
Right.
Independent research. I mean, but that's the same thing. I always tell people, if you wanted to learn how to fix a car, like, you can't just go to regular, so-and-so high school. You got to get expertise. If you want to know, you gotta go dig for information.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody, especially if it's good for you, that everybody want to give you what's bad for you.
Yeah.
Because they could take advantage of you.
Right.
That's a pimp move.
No
So if I want to pimp you out, I'm gonna tell you whatever I want you to hear, so I can manipulate you. If you now, my whole thing is, when I started the journey was, I had a grandmother, which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to. My grandma was from Louisiana. She was a Southern woman that literally, I had to tell her she didn't believe Egypt was in Africa because that's what society had taught her.
They
I had to bring her a map and show her.
Right.
So there was a man in the nation named Khalid Muhammad, and he had one great quote. I'll never forget the quote. I always quote him. He said, if a man won't treat you right, what makes you think he would teach you right?
That's right, big brother. That is right.
So if you live in a country where these people won't treat you right, why do you think they would teach you anything other than how to keep you being prostituted on your knees, bowing down to them?
Yeah. And to speak on that, because all of the great structures that exist in Egypt that we know were built by black people,
of course,
they have to
make an alien
disconnect.
Yeah,
there's no way y'all
had to cut it.
That. So Egypt is not Africa. So they removed that.
Yeah, the Suez Canal,
man-made,
man-made.
Yes, sir.
Suez Canal had to cut it off. Israel, all that. That's Northeast Africa.
Right. That's right, brother.
So until we know who we are, that's why they tell us your name is whatever. My last name Austin. That ain't my name.
Yeah.
That's a name given to me. I'm not black, nor am I Negro. No, I'm not. At the end of the day, as we connect with each other, I'll play the game and you utilize that. But I have way more information, and I know I was here before they brought slaves here. We were here already.
No question.
I know who I am.
Without a doubt.
But I didn't know that. I had to go through the history and the information on my own. And that's why I wrote Nature of the Threat, was because I needed to. I went on my journey because I wanted to know, why are my people mistreated so bad? And if it's let's do the religious right, racist alt-right version of it. We're cursed, Ham, children of Ham, right? No doubt. So I went on my journey to prove, why are my people, no matter what you do, we are treated like we have, like we just raped everybody.
Come on.
And then I did the research and found out, because I didn't want to find things to make me feel better. See, I don't believe in black pride. I don't believe in no pride. I believe in respect. And I believe in truth. Because pride is false. It can be false. I could be a rapist and still be proud. Like, I rape little kids. I'm proud. I'm okay with it.
They actually are doing. They actually have movements supporting that now.
Right. So pride is empty. It's false.
Right.
I'm about truth
and
stripped that. So I went on the journey just to find the truth, whatever that truth was. Lucky for me, the truth came back great.
Right.
I was like, what?
Right.
We made this. We did that. We did that. What?
Right.
Like God, okay.
Yeah, come on.
Stop playing. Yeah. Then it got me hot. Then I was mad. That's why I wrote Into the Thread and everything else. And I walk, and then you start walking with your head a different way. Like, get out of here, bro. I know who you are, And you know who I am. You just mad because I know who I am now.
And that's always the steps. It's like we don't know, then we study and research, then we find out, then we get mad.
Right.
Then some of us do something about it. Right. So once you had acquired that kind of information, it had to come back out again. It went in, it processed itself, and then you regurgitated it back out in the form that it needed to come. And like I say, look up Nature the Threat. Y'all check that song out if y'all haven't heard it. I did a song in 08 called Grand Deception. And, that's 12 years after Nature the Threat. So I can relate to what you were saying because people still come to this day. The youngsters like, man, what you were saying. Because the information is so hidden.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hidden, and people don't even know whether you be black, white, or otherwise. We don't know.
Right.
And so it's the education is there for everybody. Now, what may happen to your psyche once you hear the truth, then that's on you.
Right.
But you did your job. Your job is to deliver a clear message, and you did that, brother.
You too. Once again, all the accolades you told me, just put them back on him.
This is about you, big brother. Look, let me ask you this, because you ascended pretty quickly to being considered one of the greatest rappers ever. In a short period of time is 5 or 6 years. You know, people you was hearing Ras Kass' name like just ringing in the 90s, and then y'all did the project a while back. Y'all started the Horseman. That was more recent, but I wanted to talk about that because the Horseman consisted of you, Cannabis, Killer Priest, and Corrupt.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lineup. Well, you do not want to run into that lineup anywhere.
We were Slaughterhouse before Slaughterhouse.
But look, and that
we were the first super group.
You know what that is? That's like, man, how you want it. Yeah, right. That's like the Super Friends. Like, man, you want this guy over here? He'll chop your neck off clean, and you'll just be dead. But this guy here, he'll just run this thing. Right? I mean, how you want it. Right. But it's going to happen.
It's going to happen no matter what.
How the Horseman project come together? How all four of y'all get together? Two West Coast, two East Coast.
It worked out perfectly. Well, the ironic part is most of us knew each other separately.
Yeah.
So I knew Corrupt, obviously being a fan, and then just in the process of life, really, becoming homies. I knew Cannabis from Atlanta at Patchworks because they were bringing him through before he even met the homies. Music makes me high.
I can't remember the song.
Because they're the ones who first put him out. I forgot the name of the group. My bad. They good people too. From Queens.
Lost Boys?
Lost Boys, exactly. Yeah.
Good looking out, Keith. Though.
No doubt. No doubt. See? He knows bars, man. Bar reset.
Mr.
Cheeks. But Cheeks and them. So Cheeks brought so I met Cannabis through them. Before them. Before they met him, I met Cannabis through, I think it was a dude named Soup that was his manager. But and then Killer Priest knew Cannabis because Cannabis tried to battle Wu-Tang one time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He was feeling himself. Yeah. And then Priest spit. I wasn't there, but I heard about it. It was legendary.
Yeah.
So Cannabis tried to battle Wu-Tang. They just sent Priest out like David killing Goliath, and he spit this he ended up putting on his album Heavy Mental.
Right.
So,
man.
So he spit that Heavy Mental verse, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine in real time somebody spitting that to me. I would have walked away too.
Man, come on.
I would have just, So we were all, long story short, Wendy Day, who has Rap Coalition, and she helped a lot of people. She was doing this thing every year called Rap Olympics. And this one particular year, I want to say it was like 98, 99-ish or something. She was having it was going to be a battle, but signed artists. So this is like M was supposed to be like the more known battle rap MCs around the country were able to compete too.
Right.
But it was really supposed to be about signed artists. So if I recall correctly, like Redman had a team. It was like 4-man teams. So-and-so had a team, so-and-so had a team, so-and-so had a team. I had a team. My team, I was like, Canny. I was like, you're going to be on my team.
Right.
Then Corrupt called me. He was like, be on my team. I was like, I already got a team. He's like, who on your team? I asked him, I was like, who's on your team? He's like, I got Killer Priest. I didn't know Killer Priest, but I knew who Killer Priest was. I was like, he ill. I was like, and then he was like, who on your team? I was like, I got Cannabis. He's like, all right, we just a team.
We gonna merge.
Yeah, we like, this the team.
Yeah.
And from there, then we all met. And they didn't have it because a lot of the signed artists didn't want to be in
they wouldn't put themselves on the line like that. Yeah.
I think a lot of people got intimidated. When they heard me, Corrupt, Cannabis, and Priest,
Man,
I think a lot of MCs did not want.
That's not fair, man.
Especially back then, bro.
Look, when you go to the court, man, you go to hoop. you got all the good guys on the same team, and they playing against some regular guys. I mean, that's
right.
We got to shoot for the teams over, man,
right,
and get this thing.
Right.
So that's and see, and people don't. Corrupt is such an underrated lyricist. You know, when you talk about Ras Kass, Killer Priest, and Cannabis, that's like automatic. Okay, we know, but Corrupt don't get the credit that he deserved just as a headhunter that he is.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Corrupt is right up in there, man.
I've seen him freestyle, just body everybody. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, he's one of my inspirations. I was just a kid trying to get on, man. Corrupt was already out gunning, and everybody's strength is different. What I always say about Corrupt is, well, not even strength. It's just who he is. So Corrupt to me, I'm a boy from L.A. I'm a boy. I'll even make it a little more diverse. I'm a boy from Southern California. And when I was 13, 14, I heard Corrupt spit on that Dog Pound album, I heard the quintessential BG. Whether he was Blood or Crip, like he would just say this stuff that was straight, really like Southern California gang culture stuff.
Right.
And me growing up in Southern California and having homies that bang or whatever, you know, you see it. And it was still lyrical. Anybody could say, me and the homies gonna smoke you, then we ride. Yeah. Corrupt had, he's got a song that they didn't have on the album called Niggas Don't Give a F. And the song, his verse is just about getting quoted into your neighborhood. Right. And how he tell that story is so vivid.
Just skating across that beat.
He destroyed, just like Nas, like the first perfect song I ever heard to me, because I used to try to fix other people's lyrics. Like, like he should have said this, it would have been tighter. Yeah. Illmatic, New York State of Mind was the first song I could never fix a line in.
Right.
Rappers are lucky, flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting compositions of pain. I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding the M16. See, with a pen, I'm extreme now. Bullet holes left in my peepholes. I'm suited up in street clothes. Hand me a 9 and I'll defeat foes.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It's gangster, it's lyrical. It make me want to burn something down like I get heated right now. Yeah. Now you listen to Niggas Don't Give a F. Yeah. Corrupt verse. And if you from California to make your skin turn.
If you from Texas, we were jamming all that down.
We were just getting quoted, being 13, 14, 15.
You was
and getting quoted
into
a game.
Yeah.
Like, it's so vivid. It's so hard. To this day, it's one of the, I know the lyrics too. Niggas I grew up with. Anyway, point is, you're going to have to bleep that, homie. I'm sorry, but, you know, I know it's all good. But yeah. So I would say some people, like Biggie, certain people, Coogee Rap, telling these vivid stories and it's knowledge of self, it's educated. Anybody can say, yeah, I got the bag. I'm trapping. I got the bag. I'm rich. I'll kill you. Percocet. Right. So, I mean, it don't take a lot of talent to do that. Yeah. So, you know, but if you can make it vivid and put, give me that movie. I don't, I'm a fan of the skill set. I don't expect anybody at all to think exactly like me, but if you own some gangster, give me the gangster. Yeah. Like Face, give me the gangster. If you, I mean, whatever it is, if you trapping, if you the playboy, whatever you are, do it. Be the best at it. Be ill at it. So I'm a big fan of I think Corrupt is just he is the most. He's a lyrical gangster, and I'm kind of a gangster lyrical dude. That's what I would say. Like we're the polar opposites of the same coin.
Man, but it contrasts. It always
it works right
it
together.
Always blends together. Let me talk about this because I know this is something without me ever having this conversation with you. I know this has to be something that you have experienced or experienced a lot. What is the intimidation factor of when people know? Man, Ras Kass gonna be on this song, man. So, hold on, we doing the cipher. Ras Kass coming.
Oh man,
I know you experienced that intimidation factor a lot, man.
I think I have. People haven't wanted me on records. I think you gotta.
That's a compliment and kind of messed up at the same time.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, you know what? Rest in peace. This is I ain't gonna tell a million stories, but. One of my favorite stories, my homeboy Sean Price, rest in peace. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I hit Sean up. I'm like, yo, I need you to, hop on this album. I got this Apollo Brown album. I need you to, knock a verse out. He's like, nah. I'm like, and we friends. I've been knowing this dude for like
that's your
20
boy.
years.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean no?
Yeah.
You can't tell me no. You're a friend, fool. He's like, because I think I said me, you, and Royce going to do this record, whatever. He's like, nah, son. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm nice, but I always feel like I come in third place when it's you and Royce.
So you going to sandwich him in between you and Royce.
But look, no, we all are friends for years.
No question, question.
And honestly, I don't battle rap my homies.
Yeah.
I have nothing to prove against my homies. It's everybody else. If we ain't did a song yet, I'm out for your day.
Yeah, no question.
So I'm not even, I'm jogging on these beats right now. You ain't seen me run yet.
Yeah, man.
I ain't been running. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Jay-Z. I'm going to give it to M. I'm going to give it to anybody.
Right.
I'm supposed to. I give it to Kendrick.
No question.
I'm not here,
because what are they thinking?
Right.
They thinking the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the nature of the game.
It ain't no disrespect. I didn't come here to be in second place.
No doubt.
I ain't no brown noser. I came here to be number one.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm a man. So, but with my homies, it's kind of like when Rocky and Apollo Creed at the end. Let me get it. But I ain't going all out. Like we having fun with it.
Right.
So, so anyway, Sean's like, I'm not doing this song with you. I'm like, I got offended. I was hurt a little bit. I got in my feelings. I was like, what you mean you ain't gonna rap with me?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, son. He said, actually, I just did a freestyle talking about it.
Yeah.
And to this day, you can Google this freestyle with Sean Price, and he says, I don't do songs with Ras Kass. I do songs with whack rappers for fast cash.
Hey.
And I was like, you are hilarious. Salute, rest in peace, Sean P, man. He did 2 verses for me after that.
Wow.
So that was awesome. Man.
Nah, but like I say, that's the highest compliment that people can pay, because you got to think somebody of your caliber, is people view you as, man, this could be career jeopardizing for you. Because if you are not that name that everybody knows and everybody, it's going to always be people. A lot of people know Ras Kass, but it's going to be somebody like, hold on, man, who was that?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, my boy.
Well, trust me, I'm going to put it out there. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose. It ain't no hate. Yeah. I think they all scared. Yeah. I don't think none of the poppy ones that know, because a lot of them know me.
Right.
I don't think they want it. I think they're afraid to get it. And gloves off. Like, let's go for it. See, this is my philosophy.
Man, that's crazy.
Well, because you got to protect your brand, and if you say you're the best, and you ducking fights.
Yeah. Well, no question, without a doubt.
How you the best, but you didn't duck. You
Absolutely.
And, we ain't even talk about the Ghost Rider ones. They don't even count. The Kanyes and the Drakes don't count.
Young Pro through that jab and on them.
If somebody helping you with more than one line,
you don't count.
A lot. Period.
Yeah,
you don't count. You're not a factor.
In battle rapping, it's like
in lyricism. Period.
Yeah.
Just you're not a rapper. You're an entertainer. I don't expect Arnold Schwarzenegger to peel his skin off and have a metallic face. But I do expect a rapper that's the job, to write his rap.
Come on now.
I do expect that.
Come on. Ras Kass is in the building, man. We got a little more time, man. We got this brother is breaking bread tonight, man. We learning so much. Did you have a relationship with Pac? Did you know Pac?
I would never say I knew him like that. He had I was acquainted with Pac, spoke to him a couple of times. Money B from Digital Underground was the first person to really support me outside of L.A. As an artist.
Right.
So
they were in Oakland and Frisco.
Yeah, in Oakland and Frisco.
Okay, yeah.
So I knew Pac through that whole family structure, because that's my family structure. Numb from the Loonies, Yug, Clee is Cletus Mack, which is, he lived with Pac. Saphir, who lived with Pac before Pac even got on the song to clown around with the Underground.
Right.
So the dude I was in a group with Exhibit. Yeah. Saphir, the dude from Minister Society, Cousin Harold, the one that didn't get out the car and got smoked. That's Saphir. Saphir lived with Pac. So all of it, crazy small world. I'm the outsider. I'm the one from L.A. But I was already in that family. And to be perfectly honest, man, he wrote Wendy Day a letter when he was locked up. And he had this perfect album. It was the One Nation album. Right. And he had wrote, he actually mentioned me and he said he wanted, like, on the album for me to do a song with Easy Mo B. Yeah. So on the second album, that's why I did 2 songs with Easy Mo B, because Pac had died by then. Yeah. He was alive on Solo Nights. And then Rat Assassination, he was already dead. And that's why I did the 2 songs with Mo B as a dedication to Pac. Outside of that, hilariously, I'm on the song that Chino, where he hates Chino. Wow. I'm on that song.
No question. Oh, so you was in that, but wasn't in that.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When Machiavelli came out, I just had my head down and I was like, this is so bad. I'm gonna get it. I was like, because I'm on the song too. Right. It's me and Chino. Right. And I'm like, and I remember when Chino said the line in the studio, I was like, bro, like I got love for them cats. And I grew up, I'm from LA, so I knew the Thug Life cats that he knew, Rated R and all them. Those my homies, a little bit older than me, but those my homies from running in the streets. So, like I said, he knew me from both sides, but we wasn't super friends. Like, I spoke to him a couple of times, but we weren't like that. I was man, dude was popping, bro. Yeah. That was just just seeing that dude's swag and just how the chicks acted. I was just like, bro, you can't even be that.
Like touch the hem of his garment.
He was popping, bro. Yeah. Like, I watched that man, Jack the Rapper in Florida, I think it was. And everybody was in the lobby, and he came downstairs. He was still with Thug Life. And he came down the elevator. Now, keep in mind, it's Wu-Tang. It's a whole bunch of people that sold a gang of records. Everybody in the lobby chilling, whole bunch of chicks, everything. That dude went down that escalator, popped 2 bottles of Moet, and every girl in there came on herself. Screamed, oh, my God! I was like, bro, I want to be like that dude. I ain't got no hate in my heart. I'll be looking like it can be done, but I was looking at that dude like, I don't know if I could do that. He's killing it right now.
That's another level right there.
He took it to that next level. So I was always in awe of the guy, to be perfectly honest. I was just like, yo, man, dude is doing his stuff. Yeah, he was crushing.
Well, and that's why I asked that, because like I say, the thing about you is that I know this for a fact. You work with so many artists, in particular on the West Coast, but all over the place, and you have a respect level among everybody. Like you said, all of the so-called big wigs in the industry, they know you and they respect you and they know what you bring to the table, man. Yeah, so don't ever get it twisted. Well, I mean, that's part of the messed up respect part of it.
Hey, that's all good.
But don't ever get it twisted, bro. They know that you want.
Oh yeah. Behind closed doors. That's Your favorite rapper is a Ras Kass fan.
Sometimes it's not imitation that's the biggest form of flattery. It's avoiding.
Evasion.
Yeah. Ducking and dodging this guy. That's the biggest form of flattery.
Yes, sir.
What's the West Coast scene like today, I guess, in comparison to how it was, and how you feel about it, good or bad?
I'm always indifferent, man. I live and let live, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would say I'm really impressed with the younger kids.
Yeah.
When I say kids, I'm saying like the 17 to like 23-ish.
Yeah.
They really getting on their bars again. Yeah. They like in LA, they kind of on like,
it's coming around.
You gotta spit.
Yeah.
Their production style is different. I'm not mad at that.
Right.
I've never been a hater of trap beats.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just like I feel like everybody shouldn't sound the same. Like that's whack. And then if you can't spit 3 bars in a row while your song is playing underneath, you shouldn't be rapping. You suck, and you're wasting time and energy for somebody that actually. That's just like me. If you get me out there and I'm talking, you know what I'm saying, LeBron, and then I get out there and I can't dribble,
right?
And I can't because I suck at basketball. So that's why you don't hear me talking that. So why are you talking about you rapping and you can't even do 3 or 4 bars, bro? You whack.
Yeah.
Like get it together and come back. Like me, I was whack. And they told me I was whack, and I came back 3 years later, and I got a little bit better.
And we was talking about that on the way over here. We was having that discussion. It's like how some guys, they just consider themselves to be just entertainers. They don't even consider themselves. But as lyricists and as artists, we get mad about that because it's like, man, you sitting in a spot that there's a lot of hungry young cats that would love to be in, and when they spin that beat and start playing and say, give me something, and you fold up or say you're not going to do it,
right?
We looking at you in a kind of way like, man, you wasting space right now, man.
It's unfair to the skill set.
Yeah.
And once again, I understand entertainment, but if you can't box with Floyd, they're not putting you in the ring.
No question.
Like, I mean, you probably won't win, but you got to at least be able to box.
Yeah, you got to look like you belong.
Right. Yeah. These dudes, like you. How you in something called rap music and you can't rap?
Yeah.
It's just unfair life ain't fair. So I don't want to sound like I'm whining or hating, but I do want to say like you do a disservice to the craft. You know, I can't play a saxophone, so I don't walk around carrying one talking about it ain't about the sax.
Yeah.
But then I get on and it play Kenny G, but I'm just doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, get out of here, man. You know, I think a lot of the industry has trained a lot of the younger people, and when I mean we're from like more of the golden era of this stuff,
right?
You know, but everybody that kind of that really got a run around 2003, 4-ish. The internet is an excuse to get popular by being a clown, as opposed to having a talent.
Yeah, a gimmick. To get you popular, you're drawing a different type of attention to yourself.
And it still translates into numbers, but and I'm never mad at any human being getting money.
Yeah, no
but
doubt.
at what price is that money worth? So I always give that example. Like I'm not a hater. If you molest grandmothers and get $100 million, I'm not mad that you got $100 million. You just shouldn't molest grandmothers.
Yeah, your method was
good. Your execution
insane.
was trash.
Yeah, no
and
question.
so a lot of these cats, like, your execution is trash. I'm not mad at you for getting your money, but you really sending a bad signal to the young people that being a coon and a step and fetch it and a sucker is worth your integrity just to get a couple of dollars, because I don't believe that.
Right, and the industry plays a big role in kind of
they reward it. They've been
rewarding.
They have rewarded coonery
and deceiving those young guys into falling into being that kind. So I like to put the blame at the root of this thing.
Facts
as well. Let me ask you this: what new projects you got coming up as we wrap up? We sitting here with Ras Kass, man, a legend, man. So anything prior. From where we at now going back, y'all make sure y'all support that. But let us know what you got coming, big bro.
Well, first of all, It's the 21st right now, so my birthday is coming up in 5 days. I'm a Libra. And also, you know, we just shot a video a couple of days ago, so thank you. So K-Rino is on this record called, it's actually the first, we're doing a vinyl, so it's a 7-inch vinyl. It's Solo Nights 3, produced by Apollo Brown, featuring K-Rino, and then I got the Infamous Mob. So rest in peace, Prodigy. I got Infamous Mob on the hook. So we just shot that video in location down here in Houston. And yeah, that's gonna be dropping soon. And then Solo Nights 2, the full album. We're looking at. I'd love to go early second quarter, so like April. Right. So the content's coming. So and it's fire.
How can they get it when it drops? How can they get?
Oh, well, I'm talking to a couple of major situations. So I'm gonna see who gives me the right number. Right. And yeah, I'm going out on my shield. Like, that's right. My whole point is, again, I didn't start this game to be in second place. So so the Eminems and the Jay-Z's and the J. Cole's, it's all love, but ain't nobody better than me.
Come on now.
Ain't nobody better than me, and because of the politics of where my career went, people try to sweep me under the rug like I ain't better than them. Yeah, and so I'm out here to make sure they understand that I'm better than them.
Let me say this real quick.
And I have to say that.
I'm glad you said that, because it made me think about something. Now, to anybody that's listening out there, see, what he just said, that's not being disrespectful. That's not hating on nobody else. That's betting on himself.
Facts.
I'm betting on me that if you put me in the forest and just drop me off, I'm gonna come back with blood around my mouth.
Yeah.
No question. So never be intimidated by this person who's already up there, or you feel like you can't you're not worthy to be in the same arena with these people. Raz is letting y'all know, look.
Hey, you train and prepare.
Get no question about it, man. Don't be intimidated. Get in, train and prepare, and become a monster, because it's room for more than one monster out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And this man, we talking about 2 decades worth of lyricism and worth of slaughtering this man has done. So he's not speaking to you from a point of just guessing.
Yeah.
He's speaking from experience and speaking from confidence in the skill that he was blessed with, and that he took the time to hone and craft and enhance. And that's what you got to do, man. Straight up. You got any social media information you can share with everybody?
Yep. You can catch me on Instagram at RAS_KASS. And then you can catch me. Oh, go to the store. www.raskass.live, Live.
www.raskass.live, man. Y'all check real quick. I wanted to ask you, so I don't want to shut it down for who's your favorite producer you ever worked with? I know you worked with some of the best ever do.
You know what, man? I'm such a fan of producers, because they always bring a different characteristic, or even just personality traits, or the production is so different.
I asked you that.
I don't have a favorite,
because you've worked with Dr. Dre, we know.
Yeah.
But you work with DJ Premier also.
You know what? And that's
so diversity is like,
and that's why I was gonna
like the bookends of all time
of the greatest producers.
Yeah, no
ever.
question.
I have always felt like those were the two. Period.
Right.
And I still work with Premier, and who knows, probably I've worked with Dre more than once or whatever, so honestly, it kind of, my goal was, I always wanted to have Premier make a beat. I've been saying this, everybody can tell you this, and somebody's gonna steal my ideas, but I always wanted an album where DJ Premier kind of did the samples, put it all together in the drums, and Drake came in and they co-produced the album together. That's the album I want.
Well, can't nobody steal that idea, because it's only certain people to be able to pull that off. So you safe with that.
That's the illest album to me. That would be the record I want to do. The Dr. Dre and Premier working together.
Wow.
Gun down.
Yeah, I think the studio would probably collapse. Yeah, man. You know, and then if you in that route, it's not gonna work out, man. It's gonna be an explosion, man. It's gonna be on the news, man. Ras Kass, man, we thank you so much, brother, for joining us and taking time out of your schedule, man, to be here on K-Rino Radio, man. Look, tune in every Friday night, 11 p.m.
program
90.1 FM. Shout out to the OG Murder One Southpaw Coalition. No Regret Media in the building, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Ras Kass. And we will see y'all and talk to y'all and chop it up with y'all again next week. One love. Peace. And blessings, man.